again. We're gonna do some work on the suspension because I'm still getting a knocking noise from the BC coilovers. Anyways, guys, hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. So welcome back everybody. So just to quickly give you guys a quick synopsis, I'm once again having a noise from my BC Racing coilovers, and some of my old videos with me trying to work on suspension, I'm getting a knocking / strut mount noise on the driver front side. Now we already had the car inspected, we looked at all the ball joints and everything like that. I already changed the stabilized links. I've already changed the whole BC Racing coilover strut. And also on top of that, I definitely made sure that there's enough preload in the car so I don't have to run into any issues. But I'm still getting this strut mount noise. So today, I'm actually going to replace this one part. It's called a pillow mount bushing. And I don't get mad at me, guys, but it's this pillow mount bushing. Now, here's the funny thing. I didn't record it when I changed out the strut, but when I took off the strut mount hat, right, there was play coming from the strut mount going this side, this way. And I'm like saying to myself, this shouldn't be making that because there's a metal sleeve inside. But I didn't think nothing of it. So when I changed the strut, because I thought it was definitely the strut, then I heard the noise again. So I said, you know what, let's go a little deeper into this. Now, the springs do have plastic insulators, which I took a look at, and they're not worn out or at least broken or cracked, anything like that. So maybe this sleeve could be the culprit. And if this sleeve is it, oh God, I would so love it if it really is a sleeve, because look, you can separate it. And you see between there, there's that little bit of rubber. That rubber breaks up over time. It can be actually hitting that metal side to side. So guys, let's go, let's continue. Briefly tell you guys what to do. You're gonna remove these 12mm bolts right here, nuts right here. There's gonna be 3 of them. Then we're going to remove this 14mm here. I changed out these nuts, so it should be a 17, but it should be a 14 too if you have the OEM nuts. That's gonna allow you to move the whole spindle left and right. Then we're gonna move the bottom bolt. That's a 14. And then on top of that, I'm gonna pretty much pry a breaker bar down there to push the assembly down. And yeah, that's gonna allow the BC Racing coilover to drop down, and I'm gonna pull it out from the top and then break it down. So I'm not gonna show the process because I've done this enough times already. But this is just a quick help for you guys, so you guys can know how to remove a BC Racing coilover. All right, I already unloosened this so that I could be able to get the tension down. So I brung this down already. About to take this off real quick. That bolt is already out. It's relatively easy. Once you do this stuff, it's usually not as tight as the first time it's on. I'm gonna take this out, and then I'm gonna show you how I get out this BC Racing coilover. This control arm video is also from an old video I never released, so I'm gonna put it in this video. So let's continue. Now this control arm is a used one I ordered offline of a low mileage Q50, Q60, J37. But this is the old control arm. Now I'm only doing this because I told you guys I've been having a noise, and sometimes the ball joints could go bad on these things, but this ball joint doesn't actually feel too bad because this one only has about I would say maybe 10-15,000 miles on it, but my car has been lowered a lot, so you never know, maybe there's a noise, but there's also another noise there. But this will show you guys you have to remove these 14mm bolts. It's probably best that you remove the shock. I have a coilover, so it's just easy for me just to drop the coil and slide it out, but most of the times you're gonna have to remove the top hat or the top of the strut and pull that out, and then you're gonna be able to slide these out, because if you don't slide these out, it'll hit the coil and everything like that. But anyways, let me move forward. What I usually do is put a pry bar between the lower control arm, and I believe that's the subframe. When you bend that, when you add weight to it, right, it usually allows the whole assembly to go down, and then if you notice that the coilover is coming out of the bottom fork, that's literally it. And then that allows me to now move this out, push it, and then pull the coilover out on a different direction. So much more easier without taking off the stabilizer links. Alright, so this is what I did. See, I pretty much pried it down. I got it out the fork. And now this is the coilover itself. I'm gonna put a vice grip right here so that this doesn't spin, this metal pole. And I'm gonna use a 17mm to remove it real quick. It's gonna allow me to get the strut mount off. And I already loosened this up because you don't want any tension on the spring. Alright guys, so let me just show you the structure of the BC Racing coilover. Now, this is the strut itself, the black thing, right here, right? These are the collars. The bottom collar is what adjusts the height. These collars is what tightens the springs. This is the spring insulator. This usually makes sure that the spring itself isn't bouncing against the metal and making a loud amount of noise. That looks fine, right? I don't see any random grease or anything because I just changed out this strut. Now, what could actually be causing the noise, right? So this is the bottom part of the strut mount. See how it sits right there on that little clip? It's like a retaining clip, and then it stays there. Now, if this play within this, which it really isn't, because once this is bolted up, this doesn't move. There's no sideways movements. If it's up like this, of course it's gonna move that way. But when it's all the way bolted down, doesn't make any noises. Now, let's go to the strut itself. The next thing that sits there is this. This is the strut mount. It comes with the pillow boy ball bushing right here, and it comes with a little metal sleeve in the middle. Now it's easy to replace these because you could just slide them out. It's really easy, and over time they could get a little worn. Now this top black collar here, or spring insulator, is another plastic piece. That could wear out and the spring could bounce against it, but once again, it looks fine. Moving forward, we're mainly replacing this. Let me see if I could push it out on camera. I really can't. I'm gonna have to get a little flathead. But I want to show you guys something. Right? Let me show you guys a little something. Now, once this is installed, pardon me for the background noise, you push it in, and then you get this other metal washer. Can you bear with me? This metal washer goes on the top right here. And then it gets bolted up with a bolt, and it gets tightened. Now, what I noticed is, even though this is supposed to be bolted down, once I took that off, right, I still noticed that this play left and right here. You see that? Even if this is bolted down and squeezed up, there shouldn't be no play left and right. At least I don't think there should be. So that's why I'm replacing the bushing with the metal sleeve itself. Because even if this is bolted down, I can still see this moving back and forth. I don't like that. So let me just show you guys the difference of the two, and let's move forward. So this is the old one, and this is the new one, right? To be honest with you guys, it's actually not that much like worn out. Now, when I put this on top of here, there's not really much play left and right, barely any. And when I take this one off and put this one on, the bushings actually seem perfectly fine. When I do this one, it's a little bit more, but you never know. I'm taking a look at the washers too, just to see if they're worn out or whatever the case might be, but they don't look it. So anyway, we made it this far. Yeah. Separated everything. It doesn't look worn out in the middle. So yeah, you never know. You never know. I took a look at that too. It doesn't look bad either. So I'm still confused. But alright, let's start putting it back together, and I'll show you how it's together complete. Alright guys, so I bolted everything back in. I'm gonna be straight up and honest with you guys. I think it's still gonna make the same noise. Reason being is the old bushing just did not look bad. The sleeve itself did not look bad. I mean, there was a tiny bit of play, but the bushing itself is good. I mean, the newer bushing is a lot taller because it's already in. It's a lot taller than this, so there is more compression between it. And then when I clamped it down, it is a bit better, but I don't think this is where the noise is coming from. And I looked at all the suspension components. I even put a pry bar and everything on a lot of the ball joints. I did know on the lower control arm there is play going slightly back and forth, but that wouldn't get you play going up and down. So I used the jack to push up and down on that lower control arm while looking at the ball joint to see if there was any play. Didn't see any. I mean, at this point, I've done a lot. All right, guys, so I'm taking a call for a little drive to see if the noise went away. It's hot out here too, real hot. Still hear the noise. Same noise. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it is, guys. Same noise. So I know you guys don't hear it on video, but I do, and it's quite annoying. It's an up and down noise. I took a look at all the bushings and everything. At this point, I don't know what it is. All right, guys, so yeah, I'm pretty much flustered and I'm annoyed now. Now I could just sit there and live with the noise, but that's just not me, and I can't. And knowing you guys actually don't hear it on video, it's just quite annoying, and I gotta be able to change it out. Let's go through the list one more time. First thing, I clamped and used vice grips on all the ball joints to see if there was play in and out. I also replaced the top control arm. I don't think I did it on video, but I replaced the top control arm just to see if that was it. Also on top of that, you guys know I changed out the BC Racing coilover strut and top mount pillow mount bushing, and even then the little sleeves, they're perfectly fine. The play's not coming from there. The spring insulators look perfectly fine. I put the springs back in properly. I made sure I put the dampering properly. I double checked all the bolts, all the connections, and I looked at any and everything that can cause this noise. I literally even used a jack to jack up the upper and lower control arm. And what I did notice was the lower control arm bushing. Just imagine that this is the front of the car. You're going from the front to the back, and the bushing, the lower control arm goes like this, right? It's sits in place like this. Now, also, what I noticed is there's not play like this way, but there's play. Now, this is the side of the car. Imagine this is the side of the car, right? The bushing actually moves backwards and forwards. It's really hard to explain on video, but it moves backwards and forwards. When I actually put, like, let's say a flathead in there, it moves backwards and forward, and there's really a lot of space between it. So maybe that bushing did wear out over time, and maybe it is contributing to the knocking noise. You never know. You never know. The back of the lower control arm sits inside of a bushing, so that can only go in and out. It has no play in and out. But the front one is supposed to be able to pivot, and also it seems like it can move backward and forward. So that can also cause that noise. So that's the next thing I'm gonna work my way towards, because I looked at everything else. I even put the jack on the lower control arm and jacked it up and down just to see if I heard any other noises, just with the weight of the car on that. And I really wasn't getting it, because of course it's not moving fast enough. They don't have the weight of the car. But some of you guys will sit there and say, yo, Boost, why don't you just get like a camera and put it in there? So you know what? I'm gonna give that a shot. Alright guys, so that's where we're at right now, unfortunately. So, once again, gotta go back to the drawing board and keep looking. Yeah, it's also this motor's moving around a little too much, so I don't know, maybe because of the soft bushings. But anyways guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe button, bell notification. Catch you guys in the next video. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.